Hello friends, Heidi here from Rain Country. God is good all the time. Well, we got the wedding done and out of the way. Today is Monday, August 12th, and it's time for a garden update that I wasn't able to do last week, so let's get to it. Well, I wanted to start right here in the front yard garden so you can see how things are coming along. The yellow calendula right here is taken off. I've got a pink one. I've got a few pink ones. I was hoping to get a lot more pink ones that held on, but I think I might have 3, maybe 4, which is good. The yellows always seem to do the best, so I've got a couple of different types of yellows. You can see brown there, and that one's fully yellow. I mean yellow with brown center, and that one's fully yellow. I think they're mangle beets is what they're called. Those are the mammoth ones, and they're doing really good. My other beets are finally starting to really come along. And then one of the main things I wanted to show you is this beautiful flower right here that my sister made, and she brought out to the wedding. She made one for my brother as well, and for Ryan and Kayla as a wedding gift. And the blue glass, and I think some of the clear glass that she used here was some of the glass collection that my mom had. So just a beautiful reminder of my mom that I could put right out here in my garden. I decided I wanted it in the front yard so everyone can see it. And then it adds just another color that I don't already have out here. And then speaking of my mom, I wanted to show you how my fig is doing. It's really doing so much better now. I mean, to think it was just a tiny little stick that I thought was dead, and now it's doing well. And so hopefully I'll push it up against the side of the house as the weather gets colder, and right up there, maybe close to the door, so it should stay pretty sheltered. And then we'll see how it does next year. Maybe even get some fruit. So you can see I've got some red orac here. The kohlrabi, though it's getting pretty chewed up by slugs, I'm not bothering to do any slug deterrent out here. It's still growing well, and I'm fine with that. I don't mind if they chew on the leaves as long as the part that I'm going to harvest, you know, I know the leaves are probably edible too, like most of these kind of plants, but anyway, I'm not worried about that. I'm most concerned about the bulb that's growing down there that I'm anxious to try. And then over here, I've got a lot of seed here. I should probably collect the seed off this lamb's quarter, dry it, and then maybe grind it up and add it to my flowers. But back here you can see, if you're new, you may not know, this whole section back here was a former potato patch earlier in the year. Harvested the potatoes, and I got about 60 pounds just out here alone. And then transplanted the broom sorghum and the amaranth's starting to get its flowers. It should get about twice that tall, and the flowers will get about maybe 6 times as large, and they'll just turn into big, long, beautiful ropes. Okay, rhubarb, and then my zucchini, 5 zucchini plants all kind of crammed together here. Doing great still. I gave away, let's see, maybe 8 zucchinis to some of the family when they came out for the wedding. The tomatillos that self-seeded from last year, looking beautiful. And there's my other rhubarb out here. And here's another view of the sorghum and the amaranth. The amaranth will probably get about almost as tall as the sorghum is right now. And then the stinging nettle back there, I haven't been doing anything more with it. I've just kind of let it go. I have collected some seed from it for those interested though. Not much different on the roof since my last update because of the whole wedding thing, but hopefully it will be getting finished up here soon. Pat mostly what he was doing was working on the area around the chimney and stuff and getting that ready then to put in the pieces that will go around there. And I think that section right there is all it needs to be done. The back side I believe is all done, and then gutters. And I'm not sure if we'll put up the old gutters or get new ones yet. We haven't decided. And then there's the plum that was in the pot from last year. Okay, I'm just going to do a flyby of my herb garden here. It doesn't look a whole lot different than last time. And then the scaffolding, the yellow scaffolding that's for the roof. This echinacea, I think I need to stake it or something. It's been going berserk and just making flowers all over the place, which is great. Elderberries, I'm starting to see berries forming. And this one always gets its berries first. They're a little bit different, and they're, even though it's a smaller shrub, it gets bigger berries, and it just seems like it gets more of them per cluster than those bigger elderberries down there do. Okay, up here on the deck, these beans are doing okay. I'm thinking they may kind of finish up. here soon. These ones always finish up quicker, and I think it's simply because they're in a pot. But didn't get as thick this year because of the snow peas I planted in there. And look at these green onions. I need to come out and harvest them and use them so I can get more while it's doing so good. And and then here's the view. I don't think I really showed it like this last time. Grapevines, blueberries are all done. Grapes are growing. And I've got some green beans canning right here. I've got 16 pints of green beans in there. So they'll be done here shortly. Okay, and then out here in the main garden, look at that corn. It's at least 6 foot tall now, at least the tallest. The echinacea over here is looking beautiful. I have a nice orange calendula right there. And the bee balm's coming along. I don't know if it's ever gonna get flowers on it before the end of the season. And then these garden huckleberries that just keep getting bigger. They're getting a lot bigger than I thought they would. But doing good, so it'll be interesting to try those this year. And I have not, with all the busyness, I've not been keeping up on my catnip, unfortunately, or even the mojito mint growing here. But at least I got a nasturtium. Not as many nasturtiums came back this year as I don't know what happened. It should have dropped a lot of seed. I should have had a lot more growing, but out here in the garden I only have one nasturtium there and one way over there on that other side. I can just barely make out some light orange flowers. But then this echinacea, this is the tallest one I've ever had. It's probably not 6 feet. It looks 6 feet from here, but I'm standing. The garden itself is raised up some with all the additions of things through the years. It just keeps getting taller. And look at this anise hyssop. See, there's another one down here. It's a little younger than this one. Wow, look at all them flowers. And there's another pink calendula, calendula right there. And the peas, I'm just letting them get just turn to seed, or mostly what I'm doing is coming through when I pick them about this size or bigger, and then I just open them up and feed them to the chickens, and they'll follow me around. They love that. I'm pretty much done collecting green beans, so everything else, I mean, these ones here, I'll probably pick some for dinner tonight, but because I had a couple days I didn't have a chance to pick. There's a lot of them that already got this big, so these definitely are going to be left for going to seed. And these ones, I think I'm going to leave these ones too, because I like it when I get these big huge clusters of mammoth beans. So there's a few here and there. Like I said, I might get some I might make pick some fresh for a couple of dinners, but I'm done with the canning of those. So the tomatillos are they've got a ways to go before they start really filling in the husks. But again, I should have a lot of tomatillos like I always do. And then for those who are new, up here, this was the kids' former playhouse, and this down here used to be all open. And a few years ago, Patrick closed, Cody, what are you doing in there? Closed all this in, and that is our chicken coop, and then added the yard. Now this over here is still yet unfinished, and this chunk right here was actually part of the decking of the deck for the playhouse. That went right there, and we used to have a zip line that went from there to tied to a big cedar in the front yard that is no longer there. So we no longer have a zip line. Okay, so squash is coming along, all the different varieties. I'm getting some fruit starting to show. Like here's one of the orange butternuts. This is one of the ones I'm most anxious about. There's a couple of them in there. This is that pippin acorn. When I saw these come in yellow like this, I was sure they were dead, because a lot of times when squash turn yellow right away while they're still tiny, that means they didn't get pollinated. But it's still growing, so I guess that's the color these are. See, this one here, and there's another one in here somewhere. So we'll see. They're still growing. Here, see, here's this one here. This one didn't get pollinated. It should look light green, and so that one's probably going to be falling off. But I tend to leave them just in case. But the shade of yellow, I noticed, is different. And then these ones here are going really good. Still don't know. I need to go talk to my neighbor and find out exactly what kind of squash this is. I'm not sure. It sure looks like a pumpkin, and it might be a variety of a pumpkin. Okay, and then from this side of the garden, I'm standing on the north side. You can see some of my sunflowers that self-seeded have opened up. I didn't plant any sunflowers this year, so the few that I have are just ones that, you know, where it dropped seed from last year. Look at there. Look at that. Tomatoes, you can see all the tomatoes in there doing good. Those are the Romas, doing really good. And we've been just eating on these vernissages. I'm definitely growing these ones next year. And one of the things I really wanted to show you in here were these black brandy wines. They're beautiful. I'm loving these. These are a definite yes for next year. So very, very happy with these. And then the Costa Luto Genovese, I like them. I love the bright red color of these, but they just don't, they definitely are getting a lot more tomatoes than last year. I may grow a plant next year. I mean, they do have a wonderful flavor, but I don't know. I might do more focusing on the aromas for my sauces, and then the black brandy ones, which I think will also be great in sauce, and then the vernissages for salads and other things. Though I have tons of female lemon cucumber flowers on here, I'm still not seeing any fruit actually developing, so I think I'm just gonna have to get out here and hand pollinate or something, because see, yep, right here, it's not getting pollinated. Guess the bees aren't coming in here. But that's funny because I've been getting cucumbers over here, no problem, so I don't really know what the deal is. And look at this one, huh? I didn't even see that one the other day. So yeah, I'm not having a problem getting these cucumbers. I'm not sure why the lemon cucumbers are not getting pollinated. So remember my grapefruit that had opened up, look at there. Still, it actually has a fruit forming on there. Whether or not it actually will make it to maturity, we'll see. So I figured out this here is not a jalapeno. Looking at it as it's growing, I'm realizing that has to be the red Marconi pepper. So that's actually going to be a sweet pepper. And now you can see that my Chinese 5 colors have been taking on a couple more colors now. So we've had the cream, and then back there you can see we've got a few that have gone from cream to yellow. So the next color will be orange, and then we'll see red. And then here's these ones, which I figured out have to be the Santa Fe Grande, but they're not very big for a name like Grande, and I haven't picked any yet, but I'm pretty sure this is the final color they get. So I think I'm going to pick a couple of these bigger ones and try them here today. So some more Marconis here, and then the jalapenos from Ellen. So it's all doing good. Okay, so you see my plum tree here, the one that is in a pot, quote unquote, because we know it's grown through the pot. This is the same plum tree that we have planted out front. So we're gonna have to get this one out of here this year, or this next year, maybe in the spring. I'm thinking maybe we'll take this one out to the property and transplant it out there. And anyway, the plums are starting to get ripe, getting close. They have such a beautiful color. The blackberries are doing really good. Our family was just here yesterday, out here before they left to go back to all their different places. You know, they camped out at the property, which was really cool. Anyway, they were out here munching on them and really enjoying those. So those are the thornless. So I'm really liking this little corner, this little section here. And the funny thing about this little section here is when we decided to expand out from the greenhouse, which was, you know, really where we got our start, and do some outdoor gardening. This little section here between the greenhouse and our deck was my first, you know, in the ground gardening, you know, that was outside of a greenhouse. And so I grew some peas, and what else did I grow? Drew some artichoke. And anyway, that was kind of starters. And the reason I started there was because out here where this main garden is where we used to have an above ground swimming pool. And at the time I wasn't sure I wanted to get rid of the pool, but then I decided that pool's gonna go in place of a garden. All right, well, that's it for my garden update for this week, and hopefully next week I'll keep you updated. Now keep in mind, I've decided, because things have just been, you know, even though the wedding's done and out of the way, there's still so much stuff we have to do and catch up on. Finishing this roof and various other things that are going on. We plan on doing another family get-together over at the property I'm going to go ahead and be dropping back to 5 videos a week. I'm not as far ahead as I was before the wedding because I pretty much took that whole week off, but I want to stay at least 2 weeks ahead, and then I need to drop back because I just need to kind of work my time a little bit here. And I knew this was going to happen anyway, but I am still going to try to keep up on the garden updates weekly until we're done for the winter. And so be watching for that, and just keep in mind that the videos you see published, unless they're garden updates, typically they're going to be at least 2 to 3 weeks old by the time you see them. And also I do plan on, for those interested, putting together, once all the wedding photos come out and I can pick and choose, I will do a video with some photos and stuff. Unfortunately, we didn't get a lot of video clips and photos of our own because we were being the parents of the groom, and then also just being so caught up in the fun and the visiting with family that we don't get to see very much. We kind of were a little lax on remembering to grab our cameras and start taking photos and videos. But I do have some stuff I can share with you, and it should be good for those that are interested. And it was a beautiful ceremony, and just everything about it was perfect. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed this video, and be watching for more down the road. Thanks for watching. Take care, and God bless.